although I'm going to enjoy the heck out of this. So we'll be traveling from the south side of Bellingham to the north side of Bellingham. If you were along for the last ride, I would imagine you've probably seen about enough of this. But if you weren't, this should be kind of interesting. The driving conditions actually feel a little bit better. I think when the sun was out, or not, sun wasn't exactly out, but when it was a little bit warmer, the road was a little more slippery. Now that the sun is going down, it feels more like driving on sand. Than it's not quite as slippery. Although I gotta say, as I keep saying, I'm not seeing any evidence the dirty sand. They actually use beet juice here in Bellingham, beet juice, because it's a safer alternative for fish. Everything that you put on the street winds up in the bay. So they've gone with this beet juice formulation that is less harmful to the environment. Not very many cars now. Boy, if I screw up, I guess there'll be a lot of witnesses, won't there? I better really keep it together here. Got my headlights on. There, I think I've corrected some of that shakiness in the camera that was in my last video. Secured it a little better here. If you have trouble falling asleep at night, you could just use this video, put on this video, and you'll be asleep in minutes. I'm taking it pretty slow here, just because, well, especially going into this corner. The coefficient of friction is pretty unpredictable. Let's see, here we go. The roundabout at the end of Boulevard, heading into Bellingham. Do not want to be stuck on this. They may have sanded this little portion here. It's oddly clear in that one little spot, right where you need it. Oh yeah, here they are. Is this them sanding? Oh yeah, it's a snowplow. Green earth. That didn't look like a county snowplow. Or city snowplow, I should say. All right, it's just one big lane here on Forest Street. Oh, that's beautiful. The Christmas lights are coming out on people's houses at this time of day. I'm gonna make my way to the north side of town, out just past the Bellingham Mall. Turning left onto Champion Street. And we are in downtown Bellingham now. Streets are pretty deserted. And we're back. Lost connection for a second there. All right, here we go. It's really not that bad to drive in once you get used to it and take it. As you can tell, going past the Church of the Assumption, or as we who grew up here call it, Assumption Church. So this cold, you've heard me mention this, a Fraser outflow, and I haven't really explained what that is. People that live around here probably know what it is, but it's just across the border. There's the Fraser River, which runs through the Fraser Valley, which kind of empties into Sumas, Washington. And every once in a while the conditions are such that winds come out of that Fraser, out of the Fraser Valley, out of the north, and give us these cold blasts. And a lot of times the Fraser cold wet because it's coming from the interior. But every once in a while the conditions are just right where there's still some lingering moisture, and then that Fraser outflow hits it, and then we get this beautiful snow. So we will see some clearing over the next few days, I think, which is going to be beautiful on this snow, but it's going to be very cold and very windy. Very windy, which is can be a very serious combination, of course. Keep those pipes, keep some little drips of water going, and don't, be sure to disconnect your exterior hoses. All right, here we are on West Illinois. I'll head over to Meridian and then. So West Illinois looks like, I don't think it has been sanded. It might have been. They probably go to Alabama Hill first. Bellingham's biggest notorious hill. Big, long, steep grade. Main thoroughfare. All right, here we go, out Meridian. Oh, I love it that there's no cars on the road. Not very many. Thanks for joining me on the ride here. Obviously, I'm not looking at the phone to see how many or who is with me, but it's fun to have you along while we check out the winter wonderland. I like being out here right after it snows. After a couple of days, it starts to turn brown and ugly and muddy and sad, and so this is my favorite part of the snow event. It's right after it happens, when you're not sick of it yet. I'd like to say hi to my friends out on the Sumas Prairie up in Abbotsford. It's been interesting watching the situation out there. I'm sure this is no fun for anybody that has suffered from the flood damage resulting from our beloved Nooksack River. I became fascinated with the Sumas Prairie story when this first started happening, and now I'm sort of obsessed with it. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you to see how you're doing during this cold snap. I know that you probably got a little bit of, probably just as much, if not more, snow. When I was looking at the accumulation maps, it looks like towards the northeast end of the Sumas Prairie, maybe that got more snow. And up towards Chilliwack, I think they got more. I think you got more snow too. It's hard to follow all the. It's so different everywhere. Some places got almost no snow. All right, here we are, out by the Bells Fair Mall. Now this is something you don't usually get to do. Look at this. I have not stopped once. I'm driving straight through this interchange. Something that you can usually only do at 4 a.m. on a Sunday. And even then, you might have a little bit of a delay. I'm not going into the mall. All right, it's getting kind of dark. I'll probably end this video in a moment. But I'll wait till I'm in a safe position to address the situation. Look at this. Making a left turn with no arrow on Meridian. Go for it. Go for it. You've got it. What are you waiting for? Oh, man. Thank you. All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right, that's how things are looking out here on the Bellingham south to north route here on Boxing Day. It's about 4:24 now. Thank you all for joining me, and we'll do this again sometime. Cheers.